Sarah? Alex! Oh God, Alex, it's so good to see you. Sarah cried, wrapping her arms around his neck, drawing him into a tight embrace as her eyes began to sparkle. I've missed you so much, Alex. You have no idea what it means to me that you're here. Hey, Sarah, stop, I can't. Too tight. Oh, sorry, she apologized, loosing her hold on him, but staying close for another few moments before stepping back. It's good to see you. Yeah, you too, Sarah. Alex gasped while rubbing his throat more for effect than to soothe the numbing ache she'd left. Embarrassed, Sarah refused to meet his gaze, and no sooner had she stepped back from the hug she gestured for him to follow. My car's this way. I was so worried I'd miss you that I left it on a double yellow line. Oh God, I hope I haven't got a ticket. The fines here are really expensive, and my... Alex was only half listening as he followed her through the crowd, trying to pretend not to notice the amused looks that trailed after them. It wasn't hard, in truth. He could barely take his eyes off Sarah, and his heart leapt with panic every time she vanished behind a body, even if it was just for a moment. She'd changed. Gone were the baggy boy clothes. She'd swapped her old shapeless t-shirts for a long-sleeved cut-off top that showed off all her perfectly flat middle. A pair of skinny jeans hugged her gloriously long legs and made the old adage of going on forever woefully and utterly inadequate when combined with those cowgirl boots. Her hair was different too, longer, with more body. She'd taken it out of her customary ponytail, so it framed her face, and tumbled down around her shoulders to the small of her back. Bouncing with her movements, the wash of gloriously raven locks directed his eyes down to the swells of her buttocks, and he had to force himself to look away. Stepping from the cool, air-conditioned atrium and out into the heat of the Australian summer felt like stepping into an oven at full burn, and he was immediately grateful for his jacket's cooling charms. There was a breeze blowing, but it was hot and dusty, and offered little relief from the merciless heat as he raced to keep up with her. Despite Sarah's concerns, a long line of vehicles was parked in front of the terminal with an ever-constant queue waiting for a space to clear. She led him past more than half a dozen vehicles before coming to a stop beside a gleaming black XK Jaguar convertible. Reaching into a handbag she had hanging off her shoulder, she produced a set of keys that, with one click of the fob, had the roof folding down and the boot popping open. Whistling his admiration, as Sarah got into the driver's seat, he flung his holdall into the rear of the car before shutting it with a smooth push, and then let himself into the passenger side. Turning the ignition, Sarah let the engine roar impressively to life before shifting into gear, and with half a turn of the wheel, pulling into the first opening. Buckling his seatbelt, Alex was immediately thrown all the way back into his seat as Sarah pulled out onto the motorway and put her foot to the ground, speeding from 20 to 100 kilometers per hour. In school, she had kept to her books. He never would have guessed she would be a closet speed freak. It was nonetheless a pleasant surprise. It was good to know that she was, at last, getting her hair down. He just hoped the cost of discovery wasn't him becoming a red smear across some stretch of Australian highway. "How are Rich and Janet?" Sarah finally asked, keeping her attention on the road ahead and not noticing Alex suddenly stiffen in his seat. "After I sent you that email, I considered contacting them too, but I just couldn't think of anything to say." "What?" Sarah Snow lost for words. "Now I've heard everything." Alex shot her a sideways smirk and said, "Last I heard, Rich was working for his dad. I don't know about Janet." "Really?" she asked, unable to keep her surprise hidden as she quickly glanced at him. "But you two were so close. She was even saying you guys were talking about working things out and getting back together." "We did, and the things were going pretty well for a while, but we broke up nearly a year ago. There were complications." He hoped that explanation would satisfy her, but Sarah was ever curious, and though she nodded, he could tell she wanted to know more. Despite himself, he found the words coming out before he could stop them. "It's a long story, but I guess we just had a different idea of what life would be like after graduation. She wanted the life she'd gotten used to at university. Nightly girls' nights and weekends away. I wanted something steady, a family, career, the whole 9 yards, you know. Janet could never understand that." Alex paused. He needed to consider his next words carefully and gave a moment's serious thought as to the best way to put it before continuing slowly. "In the end, I think we both knew it wouldn't work. It was just a matter of who admitted first."